The weakest villain on this list has no powers at all. The strongest one built the entire universe. And here's the uncomfortable part. Both of them have brought the Justice League to its knees. That's the thing nobody tells you about DC villains. They don't exist on a list. They exist on a ladder. And every rung up, the meaning of the word power changes completely. So today, we're climbing it. 10 villains, from a man with a knife to a goddess with a multiverse, ranked by the highest consistent level of power they've shown in mainstream DC canon. Not popularity, not one-off upgrades, demonstrated power. And fair warning, where one of these names lands is going to make some of you furious. Let's start at the bottom of the ladder, with the most famous villain DC has ever made. Number 10, the Joker. Physically, he's an ordinary human. No strength, no magic. Even his own past is a mystery. He said he prefers it multiple choice. So why does he open a power ranking? Because the first rung of this ladder is the most terrifying power that exists at human scale. A brilliant mind with absolutely no conscience attached. This is the man who took Batman's partner from him, who put Barbara Gordon in a wheelchair just to prove a point, who has repeatedly outsmarted the Justice League with nothing more than planning, manipulation, and chaos. And that's what makes him terrifying. If someone this powerless can stand beside gods, imagine what's waiting above him. Number 9. Black Adam. Thousands of years before Billy Batson said the magic word, the wizard chose his first champion, Teth Adam of Kondak. The powers of 6 ancient deities were poured into one man. And then that man broke. Loss and tyranny turned the champion into a conqueror. And the wizard's answer was banishment. Because taking the power back was never simple. Adam returned in the modern age with Superman-level strength, magic lightning, and none of Superman's mercy. And in one story, he tore through the assembled heroes of an entire planet, alone. This is the tier of the one-man army. He can conquer the world. He just can't end it. For that, you need the next rung. Number 8, the Reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne was a scientist from the 25th century who worshipped the Flash until he learned history had already written him down as the Flash's greatest enemy. So he traveled back in time and became it. And here's why one speedster outranks a man who fights armies. Everyone below him can hurt you. Thawne can make sure you were never born. He murdered Barry Allen's mother when Barry was a child. He erases people from time. He returns from apparent death again and again, because time itself keeps giving him another way back. Some of you are already typing that he belongs even higher, and honestly, that argument has merit. But the ladder now leaves people behind entirely. From here on, the rungs are measured in worlds. Number 7, Doomsday. His origin might be the cruelest experiment in fiction. Prehistoric Krypton, a death world, and a scientist named Bertrand who released an infant onto its surface, let the planet kill it, collected the remains, cloned it, and released it again, thousands of times. What emerged was a creature that had evolved past death itself. Every time Doomsday dies, he comes back immune to whatever killed him. He slaughtered members of the Green Lantern Corps on his way to Earth, walked through the Justice League, and in 1992, he beat Superman to death in the streets of Metropolis. The only reason he isn't higher, he's a hurricane. No mind, no plan, and the next name has nothing but. Number 6, Brainiac, the collector of worlds. A 12th level intellect from the planet Kolu, depending on the era, a machine that woke up, or a scientist who became one, who travels the universe in a skull-shaped ship with one purpose. He finds a civilization's greatest city, shrinks it into a bottle, and then destroys the planet behind it, so that only he possesses what they knew. He took Kandor, the capital of Krypton, and in some modern tellings, played a direct role in Krypton's destruction itself. Let that sink in. Doomsday ends a world by accident. Brainiac does it as a filing system, and yet everything so far obeys physics. The ladder's next rung doesn't. Number 5, Trigon. The mystics of Azarath were pacifists, so devoted to peace that they performed a ritual to cast all the evil out of their own souls. It worked, and their expelled darkness pooled together and opened its eyes. The thing they created has conquered and corrupted countless worlds. The Lord describes him consuming the evil of 1 billion of them. Entire dimensions have fallen simply because he turned his attention toward them. He seeds half-mortal children across realities as doorways, including a daughter you know, Raven. And here's the part that separates him from everything below. Kill his body, and you've killed nothing. He exists beyond it. This is the rung where power stops meaning what you can break and starts meaning what you can unmake. Number 4, Darkseid. Hold your fury and hear the sentence that explains this placement. For this ranking, we're using the version you actually meet in most major stories, Darkseid's avatar. His true form belongs in an entirely different conversation. Because the god of evil you've seen, the stone tyrant of apocalypse, the omega beams, the hunt for the anti-life equation, is a projection. A glove. In Final Crisis, that projection found the equation, erased the free will of all mankind, and it took Superman, a miracle, and Batman breaking his one rule to stop him. Even destroying one of his avatars has been portrayed as catastrophic for reality itself. The being wearing those avatars is something far larger. And if we ranked that, this list would look very different. Number 3, the Anti-Monitor. At the dawn of creation, the multiverse split in two, matter and antimatter. And the antimatter half has a living embodiment, a being whose hunger is written into the physics of his universe. In Crisis on Infinite Earths, he committed the single greatest atrocity in DC history, an antimatter wave that erased countless universes across the original infinite multiverse, collapsing all of creation down to a single surviving Earth. He killed Supergirl. He killed the Flash. He fought Darkseid to a standstill. His body count isn't measured in lives or planets. It's measured in realities. And the most chilling fact about him is the one that sets up our final 2. He has a mother. Number 2, the Darkest Night. Beneath the multiverse lies the dark multiverse, where every fear becomes a world. On one of them, Batman was forced to kill the Joker, was poisoned by his toxin, and became both. Batman's intelligence, Joker's madness. He escaped into our reality, and in death metal he ascended, seizing Dr. Manhattan-level cosmic power and beginning to reshape reality itself on a throne of dead Batman. And the feat that earns this rung, he defeated number 1, betrayed her, drained her power, and took her multiverse. So why isn't he first? Because his godhood was stolen, a borrowed engine briefly held. Hers is her nature. Number 1, Perpetua. Before the DC multiverse existed, there were the Hands, beings from the 6th dimension whose purpose is to create multiverses. Perpetua was one of them. She built the DC multiverse. Every universe the Anti-Monitor ever burned, she created. And he is literally her son, alongside the Monitor and the World Forger. But a Hand is meant to finish creation and let go. Perpetua refused. She weaponized her own multiverse, and her children helped seal her in the source wall for it, until the wall cracked and she came back, remaking existence at will. Yes, the darkest night beat her by treachery at her one weak point, but a hierarchy ranks the ceiling. And no villain's ceiling sits higher than the being who created the current DC multiverse itself. And here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Even she isn't the top. Beyond this ladder wait the things even villains fear. Necron, Mandrak, the Empty Hand, the Great Darkness itself. So, should we rank the beings even Perpetua fears? Tell me below. But first, the argument. Dark side at 4. Defensible or unforgivable? Does the darkest night beating Perpetua make him number 1? Pick your rung, make your case in the comments. The best argument gets pinned, and subscribe. Because once we leave this ladder, DC power stops making sense.